Mike Van Cleve, realtor with the Mike Van Cleve team here at Remax Traders Unlimited. Uh, our mission is to empower and educate by providing people with the information, resources, and counsel to make great decisions when it comes to buying or selling real estate. So the way that we do that is we're high information, low pressure. We sell the benefits instead of selling the features. We start with why we're doing what we're doing, and we back into what we do. There are 750 realtors in the greater Peoria area. So when we talk about that, what we do is relatively similar to what other people do. But why we do it is, it's like real estate. Every piece of real estate is what we call sparse or no, I'm completely blanking, is an independent commodity, right? So even two homes right next to each other have different views out the back. They have independent individual features that make them different from, so it's a scarce commodity. So every particular home is different in one way, in the same way that every realtor is going to be different. So how is our company different? Our company is different because we believe at our core that your home should be your most comfortable place. If you're comfortable in your home, financially, socially, mentally, emotionally, you're going to go and be adventurous in other parts of your life because that home can be rejuvenative for you. You come home, you relax, you recharge. You can't fill other people's cups from an empty cup. So if your cup is full, you can go out and be excellent in the rest of your life. So how do we do that? So I'm going to send out this presentation. We all know the idea of the car salesman, right? People walk onto a car lot and they feel gross. They feel like they're a piece of meat. So how do we change that script? Well, the way that we change that script is by selling benefits instead of selling features. So features being a particular element of the product, miles per gallon. Features when it comes to a house might be the appliances in the kitchen. The appliances aren't the issue. It's what people do with the appliances. How does that product make your life better? Because people buy homes by picturing their life better where they are. People buy anything by picturing their life better where they are or where they're going to be than where they are. Okay, my furnace is on the fritz. Spending this money with standard is going to make my life better because it's going to heat my family or cool my home, and it's going to make our quality of life better. I'm going to invest in my college, my child's college account because they are going to be better off for that incremental investment over 18 years, right? My business needs proper insurance, so I've got the peace of mind. Or it's the bug guy who comes, or the pest control person who takes away that fear from my wife that there's something scratching inside the wall because the mice don't like the cold outside, so they like our house inside, and that makes her uneasy in her home. So the benefits relate to emotions and well-being, whereas features, and we'll talk about, these things are, they hit a different part of your brain. So when we talk about features don't stir emotions. We buy products because we feel like our life is going to be better. When people walk into a home, what they're doing is they're saying one thing, regardless of their personality style. They're saying, it felt right. It feels right. And then they're going to back that up with their primary decision-making process, whether they're an emotional decision maker or whether they are what we call contemplative or calculated. You know, people whose spreadsheets have spreadsheets. So this Guinness ad does a really incredible job, right? Everybody knows about Guinness. It's a worldwide brand. But in this ad, they do a really incredible job of talking about how and why their product would be used. So you can watch that. So truth number 2, people have more choice where and from whom they can buy than ever before, especially in an internet environment. When I can go online and I can buy a multi-split from Mr. Cool for $1,500, and then I can call somebody and have them install it, why would I do that as opposed to calling Mike? Well, the reason for that is because of how we make people feel. My dad told me growing up when he owned his law firm that people will forget what you did for them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Salespeople get a bad reputation for a good reason. Bernie Madoff, we talked about this, the sale, the QVC, okay? Everything we do is sales. My daughter loves ketchup. This is a really old picture of her. I think she's probably like 4 or 5 in that picture. She would eat that straight from the jar. We let her. All right. She has ketchup on everything. Things that you don't even think ketchup goes with, she wants ketchup on it. All right. So spaghetti, like whatever. It's got to have some ketchup on it. So when I'm negotiating with her about how many Oreos she's going to get to eat, I'm making a sale. I'm trying to convince her of something that is against her desires or her wishes, right? She wants 5 Oreos. I think she's already had enough ketchup. She doesn't need any Oreos. That is a sales process.
Did she put Oreos in ketchup?
On Oreos, right?
Did she put Oreos in ketchup?
No. She's a monster. Apparently, Apple made a copyright. We're all familiar with the historic Apple advertisement about Apple and thinking differently. When Apple came on the scene, they were about challenging the status quo. They wanted you to feel a certain way about their product. And as we'll talk about in the Simon Sinek TED Talk, it's the same reason that you're comfortable buying an iPod or now an iPhone from Apple, which is a phone, and a computer, and a watch, and all these other things. When other companies, did anybody ever have a Zoom? Microsoft. They came out with an MP3 player. Nobody bought it because people didn't feel that way about Microsoft. Sure, they make a good computer, but people didn't feel like there was that cross branding, that there was a bigger message. Okay, it's the reason that somebody might buy from John here. Okay, this is John's Crazy Socks. John sells $20,000 worth of socks a month. Okay, so when John aged out of the school system, he and his dad, had to figure out, what are we going to do? Well, John, one of the things that he was known for in school was wearing crazy socks. So John and his dad put their heads together and started a website. You can buy socks anywhere. If you live in Chicago, you can buy them on the off-ramp. Yeah. All right. So why would you buy a pair of socks from John as opposed to going into a store and buying them off of the rack? Well, you buy them because you believe in what John believes in. You believe in what John is trying to do in the community. You're buying them because you believe the benefits of what John is trying to sell, not the features of what he is trying to sell. Benefits stir emotions. Okay, Daniel Burnham, who designed Chicago's now famous waterfront, and also the Columbian Exposition, said, make no small plans. They have little ability to stir men's souls. Your customers, your clients, your prospects, your suspects, they're looking for somebody to stir their soul. They're looking for somebody to rave about online. Give that to them. Give that to them by selling the benefits which cause them to stir emotions. We make emotional decisions when purchasing. It's the same reason Simon Sinek talks about this in his TED Talk. Same reason that somebody will stand in line overnight for the newest iPhone launch when they can go in and buy it off the shelf a week later without having to wait a second. Okay? People believe in what your product says about them. It's the reason that people were willing to pay $120 for a pair of Jordans when they first came out, because they believed that that shoe would make them jump higher. Right? They believed that that product said something about them. It's the same reason that you can buy a Bentley or you can buy a Ford Taurus. Both get you to the same place, but when you buy a Bentley, it says something about you that the Ford Taurus doesn't say. You make so much. And this isn't just my opinion. And this is another thing I got from the TED Talk with Simon Sinek. This is actually biological fact, right? It's the reason that people are 4 times more likely to believe something that is scary than they are to believe something that is fun or makes their heart warm. Okay, it's the part of the brain that registers fears 4 times the size as the part of your brain that registers joy. Sales won't last, or supplies won't last. Sale ends Friday. Okay, we only have a certain amount. This is the only house of its kind. This is the only view. You know, we've got 15 offers. If you don't get yours in, you're going to miss out, right? So people are either fight or flight, and shopping releases dopamine. It's part of the reason that credit card companies want you to use credit cards. Anybody who's listened to Dave Ramsey knows this, right? When you use a credit card, you don't feel like you're spending money. When you use cash, there's part of your brain that sees that cash going away and reminds you of how hard you worked for it. It's part of the reason people spend 18% more by using credit cards than they do by spending cash, because you don't think of it as money. So benefits speak directly to internal problems. We sell, and I'm going to wrap up here, and I'll send the rest of the presentation to you. But this is one of the last big points I want to make, is people buy external products to solve internal problems. Okay? Our house is too small. We feel cramped. We're on top of one another. Our life is chaotic. I need more space. We all saw this during COVID when we were working out of our homes and doing online learning. People are like, oh, this feels cramped. I need more space. I need an office. I need a home office. They wanted to buy homes. There's no surprise that home sales went up, inventory went down. Okay, so people buy external products to solve internal problems. I call the bug guy because my wife feels like we have a clean house, and when she sees a spider run across the room, it makes her feel like that identity of having a clean house is in jeopardy. All right, we all know this guy. All right, he buys this car to compensate for an otherwise personal, maybe midlife crisis, you know, or whatever. Okay. So regardless of what your business is, you are selling answers to internal problems in an external way. Right? I didn't buy life insurance because I want my house to be paid off when something happens to me. I bought life insurance because my wife hopefully would be really upset if something happened to me, and I don't want that feeling, that emotion to go in. I want her to be able to grieve properly without the financial concern of where that money is going to come from.
I love the sign on the corner. I think it's over here on Knoxville. It says something to the effect of insurance is not for you, it's for them.
Yeah, it's at Forest Hill and so addressing internal problems speaks directly to the root of your client's motivation. Okay, when a business understands you, you'll buy a music player from them, or a watch, or a computer, or a TV. Okay. We speak to fears, obstacles, reliefs, and dreams. Okay. But beliefs or benefits are consistent. So the question is, what problem do you and your business solve? So I'll send out the rest of that presentation, but in the interest of time, we'll open it up to any questions or comments before we go into the referral section.